All right. So you before the break told us you are reading. Are you physically reading? Do you have the
Reading
book?
on a Kindle. I read my books on a Kindle so I can highlight them and share stuff and go back to the
Okay.
notes.
What drove you to it? Was it all of the hoopla?
Nah, I'm a big Coates fan. Pretty much whatever he put out, I'm gonna read. So, I read 8 Years of Power and
Okay.
Between the World and Me, and of course, this now, and it like I just love his way with words. I just it's poetic and it's rhythmic and it's like half prose but half just like sitting down talking to you. Especially the way he frames his books. A lot of times it's like he's writing to a person and you just happen to be reading his missives to this person. And so that's that. I just love his way with words. So I was gonna read it regardless of what it was about, but it feels apropos this time to be reading it.
What has jumped out? Because I have to like stop and sit with the words for a minute, let it sink
Mm-hmm.
in. It's like, oh, do I agree with this? Which
Mm-hmm.
part right now has you in a chokehold?
So I just got to the latter half of the book where he starts to get deeper into like Palestine and Israel and the conflict. So I'm not that deep into that part yet. Um so a lot of the stuff from up front about how like insidious and like powerful the mental hurdles of like white supremacy is. So like when he's a tourist, being a tourist in another country, and he's like, I don't want to take the tour because that's just like what everybody does. But he realizes after being there by himself, well, I've been looking at this through the lens that was granted to me from coming from America. I should have had a tour guide. I do need to know from the people that live here what this really means, because that's such a powerful thing, and it's a notion that we often don't interrogate in ourselves, but obviously it's extremely true. And then another thing that stuck out to me too, when he talks about because I'm from the South, as I bring up all the time. He talked about South Carolina and going to the state house and how the monuments there were not just monuments to the past and heritage. It's a fight they're fighting today. It's a fight for the future of like establishing certain little things in our minds that become the narrative for us, right? That makes it harder for us to like conceptualize these as bad people, as slave owners, as government officials who pass laws, making it therefore seem like, oh, these people, this has always been a thing. It's fine. And so when you have Donald Trump come to office, it's not that far from Strom Thurmond. Isn't for a lot of people, it's like this has happened before and we were fine, right? That's what the statues are supposed to fool you into thinking, because the statues aren't of people getting arrested for loitering during Jim Crow. The statues are never of the sharecroppers. The statue is
Correct.
never of the someone being lynched, right? The statue is of the person that did the lynching, that organized it. And they're not lynching in the statue. They're on a horse. It's General Cornwallis the Third or whatever. And you just don't think about it. And the power of those narratives is so highlighted by him in the book so succinctly, because it's not a long book, y'all. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to read a book. You can read this very fast, and it's so succinct the way that he puts it, to where you're just like, oh, I see exactly what you mean, and then you can like apply that to so many things. So yeah, those are the things that really stuck out. That I like shared a bunch of quotes today on my social media feeds so people can see like, hey, this is what's in this book. Like this man he is a beast. You should like y'all
Yes.
have to see how he puts it.
Oh my goodness. And I think he's one of the best to do it. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
comparisons to James Baldwin. And, while it's difficult to compare people from different
Right.
times, yeah, I think history will remember Ta-Nehisi Coates as somebody that did something during a period of
Yes.
time that was important. And to your point, yes. And if for no other reason that we are so addled to have somebody remind us of what
Mm-hmm.
what this is so important as well.
And there's a
And
resistance to naming it what it is in real time. And there's so few people who are willing to just name something what it is as it's happening. Like everybody want to be a historian. It's easy. Like even racist people now, like it was messed up what they did back in the day. It's like, what about what they're doing today though? Why is that not messed up? Why are you on that side today? And we afford people a certain amount of plausible deniability when we turn things that are currently happening into these abstract monsters of like, I don't know who's doing, I don't know why they wouldn't vote for Kamala Harris. It's crazy to me too. Maybe it's the economy. And it's like, or maybe the people that want to take all racial history out of school textbooks and the people that are upset that they consider the phrase Black Lives Matter to be a political slogan on an NFL field, but they also consider the equal opposite response to be a MAGA hat. Maybe interrogating that why that is more important than giving an excuse to like, it could be the price of eggs, or it could be the thing that it always has been traditionally. So I love that Ta-Nehisi Coates talks like that, and he can't be dismissed as out of hand as easily as they would. Someone like me, they might dismiss me to be like, who is this guy? You can't dismiss the Genius Grant. You can't dismiss the New York Times bestseller. You can't dismiss the guy who went and saw it with his own eyes and came back and reported, who always tells the truth, who you've been lauding until he gets to your inconvenient truth.